Welcome. It's so nice to have you here with me today. Welcome to this space, this fasting space, floating in space. As we're embarking on our little voyage together today, embracing a moment of stillness in our day, seeking clarity that we want to experience in our life. How does clarity sound? See, in a world of confusion and conflict and difficulty, so many things vying for our attention, it can be hard even to know which way is up. Say we're floating out in space, like every direction's up in space. So what I say, take this perspective a little bit. So let's leave some of the problems down there. Float up for a little bit in a stillness stream. I've got a number of sessions on the channel, productivity stream. And one thing I really like about fasting process, say, hey, that's a space that can be very productive. Say, we're going to get a lot of stuff done, save time with all the shopping and cooking and cleaning and eating, and say, hey, we're just going to dial in on some work. And so if you're looking for a space like that, check out, I got a playlist, productivity, fasting productivity sessions. Today I say is like the opposite in my world. We're a very doing focused society, everything doing. Felt good to me to say, hey, let's take a few moments when we're starting our day, a few moments here and just be for a little bit. I'm going to share some insightful quotes that help center our thinking in this way. Try to give some space. It's like clarity, something that we're seeking clarity in the midst of this. Think of this analogy we use a lot. We're looking at, okay, consumerism, consumer culture, consumption. Everybody say, oh, we have to buy everything. Fasting giving us the model. So much of what we seek already inside of us, the process of finding something like clarity. Another process, removing some distractions, opening up some actual space in the mind, much as the body, recognizing this connection, mind and body, that they're really the same. So I thought, if this is it an anti-productivity session? Is it really productivity though? You know, what are the most productive things? One quote I saw, I didn't type it up. It said, sometimes the most productive thing we can do is nothing. Boy, that really landed with me, because fasting is nothing. It's a process of openness, space to release energy, and then in the place, space to find clarity. You say, if finding clarity, meaning, purpose, if that was a productive task, how would you do it? What if the answer to that in some measure is actually nothing, that you have to do nothing for a period of time? Wouldn't it also be one of the most productive things that you could do? For a little fun to frame our session, I made this put this little quote up here. Here's our productivity tracker for the day. In our little session, how many productivity tasks have we completed so far? Like 0, okay? And that's all right. We're still at 0. I bet we'll be at 0 by the end. If we're saying, okay, our checklist, the things we got to do, but really when we're framing our thinking that way, are we actually dialing in a space like this on what's most important? That's what I want. Check out this quote. Sitting quietly, doing nothing. Spring comes and the grass grows by itself. Nothing required. See, this is looking to nature. This is what I want to help us do. Nature giving us the model. Things are happening on their own. It's like no doing required. Lots of things happening. We can see this in our own life. We give things some space. One of those things like the grass growing, the clarity can arise. Let's take just a minute here and reflect on that. What is the clarity that you are seeking? As I take a couple deep breaths, maybe get in a little box breathing. Try to settle the mind. Think about the clarity that we are seeking and give it some space to come. And then I'll share this quote with you. Think about how much pressure we can feel in the world today. Everything focused on doing, right? That's why it can be hard. Take a few moments in a session like this. So often, which I think is great, we're dialing in doing. How do we do the next thing, the next thing? Listen to this quote. Thinking is generally thought of as doing nothing in a production-oriented society. And doing nothing is hard to do. It's best done by disguising it as doing something. And the something that is closest to doing nothing is walking. I love that. From Rebecca Solnit. In their book, Wanderlust, A History of Walking. That sounds like something I might like to read. But this quote giving us a lot of nice things to think about. Is thinking really doing nothing? I think a lot of people, if someone is just sitting there, you see, someone is sitting there, they aren't doing anything. I think that's a judgment you could definitely hear in society today. And it strikes me a lot in relation to our session yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about the 300-year energy spiral and the technology spiral that's whirling around us right now with AI development and so-called thinking machines. People not going to have to think in the future. Have you heard people say that machine's going to think for us? I say that is not something that resonates with me very much. Not very much. Thinking one of the most important things to do, a human future where people aren't thinking, does not sound very good. I say we need the exact opposite. We need to start recognizing the value of thinking. Maybe that's what this space really is. Thinking, the most productive thing we can do, productive task completed. If we thought deeply, maybe that's one productive task completed for sure. From a certain point of view. I thought this quote was interesting too, just to say, is it hard to do both personally? Like for us, can we settle our mind enough? Put down the distractions enough? Do we have space even in our own mind to think an open and unrestrained thought? If clarity could come to us in a space, do we have enough of a space? Is there enough openness to be able to receive it if it wanted to come? Would we welcome it? Almost felt a little bad for this person reading it. Say, like, it's best doing our nothing by disguising it as something. Are we just that afraid of being judged? That we can't sit in a space for a little while? Gotta take a walk. Hey, I'm not opposed to walking. I always say walking is the world's healthiest activity. And it's a beautiful space to do some thinking. So I like it. But walk because it feels good, and walk because it's a beautiful thing to do and a wonderful space to think, not out of fear of being judged. And there's also a space to stop walking and just to sit and to be present. Say, take a minute together while we're enjoying this space, some quiet and calm in the midst of the noise of society. Did that feel good? Flow through that space. Say, take a check-in in the mind and just kind of scan through the body. Find the tension. That's what I would say. You think about the discussions we've had about chronic stress leading into chronic inflammation, driving chronic disease. Say, we want to interrupt that cycle. Here's an interrupt in our day, a few minutes. Say, when I scan through, I don't have to scan very far till I find the tension. Tension in the shoulders, tension in the neck. Say, when you breathe into that space, help to expand that area, open it up. This is the big picture of what we're trying to do in our life, right? Open up space for health and healing. Open up space to release trauma and difficulty that we harbor, anger and resentment that stays. Gotta open up. Let that go. When we free up the resources that we're using to hang on to things that are weighing us down, then we can really float up into a different space. That's where we are here. Hard to have clarity when we're weighed down and burdened by so many things. Open up the space, find clarity here, and then from that place of clarity, meaning, purpose, positivity, we're finding love, light, joy, peace, contentment in that space. And then radiate that out. That can be the answer to so much that is coming at us. Say, I'm not going to let this situation define me. I'm going to define the situation by my response to it. This session, my response to yesterday, right? We're talking about the circuit breaker. We need some circuit breakers in our thinking, in our emotions, in our physical being. Fasting to me can be all of those things. Opening up space in the most thoughtful and gentle way. Space for clarity, space for human thought and kindness and gentleness. big connection I try to make in a space like this, and what I would encourage anyone to do coming through in a space like this. Two things that flow together to me. Opening up a mental, emotional space like this. Let in some space for thinking and clarity. And then does a thought come? Does a perspective come? Get out the journal. Write it out. And do some written reflection. Did something bubble up? You know, when you open up a space, it's like sometimes when the thoughts can bubble up, can you write them out? That's what I'm going to do right now. Invite you, even if you don't have an actual journal, just some paper, get some thoughts out. Can really be a different experience. If you're used to keeping notes on the phone, notes on something, get some actual paper, write it out. Highly encouraged. I bought a nice leather-bound journal, a nice pen. Make the actual physical practice of doing it more pleasant. A few thoughts came to me in this session. I'm going to write it out. You write out your session. You write out your thoughts. Welcome anybody who's with me now here, coming in again on the live. I'm taking some time in this space, writing out the reflection that we've been going through. Kind of come through almost half an hour we've come through in this space, trying to really center our thinking. With this quote, with this perspective, sitting quietly, doing nothing. And look what happens. Look, the spring is coming, right? Spring is coming physically in the world these days. Can spring come in our mind metaphorically as like the clarity that we are seeking? Queen of Heaven is here. Hello. Some space here, seeking clarity. That's what we want. So I took this space in this time as I've been here. Definitely some thoughts came to me. I got out the journal. I'm writing out those thoughts. I encourage you, anybody here, have the space. Like, try to get the thoughts, get the burdens, get the perspectives, help to write them out. That's how we get them out. It's like the process of finding clarity. Try to remove everything that's getting in the way of it so that we can be open to receive it. That's the type of space from my perspective. If we want to get to the deepest levels where we can really heal from things, this is the type of thing that's so helpful to do. Peel back the layers. Take a deep breath, get the tension out of the body. Finding a space of peace in our life, moments of peace, even if it's just a few minutes in the day, is so underrated. I was thinking last night, one of my kids was telling me that they were bored. And I was just thinking about one person's boredom is another person's peace, and how do we find peace in a world where we always want to be entertained? So we're always looking for some type of distraction. And technology, things always coming to us, say so stimulating, entertaining, interesting, Okay, and then say if we don't have that, then do we say that we feel bored? But it's can we just change our perspective a little bit? What does it really mean to be content? What does it mean to be at peace, or to find peace, or have a space of peace? It's we gotta reframe what we think about being bored and start to see it as a gift. See it absolutely as a gift. Space to be alone, and then you can ask deep questions are we ever really alone, right? Can help when you float up in space like this, you look at the world like this, and just to see man, what a creation, what a creation. How beautiful, how incredible it is that we are here in this moment. Just the gift and the opportunity just to be able to sit and observe it. Be present with it. That sort of space. Total gift. Find peace in that space. It's just a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. I don't know what your experience is. My experience being here as we've gone through this session, okay, open up the space, we flow through these quotes, we take some time to think and breathe and open the thoughts, and then taking them here. My experience right now writing those thoughts out into the journal. This feels like a clarifying process to me. If we're trying to find clarity and we say, this is not an easy thing to do in the world that is so full of distractions. We're trying to move toward health. We're trying to move toward wellness, wholeness. We're thinking about this connection. Do you believe it? Do you see it and understand it, that the mind and the body are the same? And if we want health and healing in the body, we want clarity of thought and thinking in the mind. I just think on a really profound level, these are the same things. And things that are so easy to overlook in our society. Things that are simple. You know, we are just enamored in society with things that are complex and high tech and flashy and expensive, right? Is it the case that the things that can bring truly profound, hopefully profound, that's what I want. It's at least what I want to experience. Profound wellness, wholeness, contentment, and well-being. Like we did a session, I think in the fall, the best things in life are free. You know, my feeling right now here in this space, you know, journal isn't exactly free. I paid like $15 for a luxury leather-bound journal, okay? A big splurge. But it's close to free, right? Couple dollars for a nice pen. And it's helping me to feel much better now. That's a beautiful practice too. One of the things I'm, writing out now, I had a little conflict with someone. Do you ever have a conflict? I'm just honestly writing that out now. That's a big thing I'm reflecting on. Like a conflict with somebody is like very hard to go through life. Never have any conflict with anyone. And, conflict comes from misunderstanding between people, between expectations that we have about other people. They have expectations about us, and then sometimes the streams cross, and it's a lot of times we can take something like that, and instead of really processing it, we bury it, right? That's the type of thing. We bury conflicts inside of us. Feeling cleansing to me. I spent a lot of time with them yesterday, so let's unpack this. Where has the anger come from? What is the misunderstanding? Like where is this? And talking was good, and now today too, just let the thoughts flow out, to think about how can we learn from these things, everything we're trying to do on the channel here, from my perspective. Learn and grow, not to bury anything, to take everything that is darkness and difficulty. Learn from it. I say let go, right? Let go, yes, but also integrate it in a healthy way. Realize that this is real. It's like we can't just forget about things, but we can come to a place where we're learning from it, growing from it, like stepping stones, like we're stepping up to something better. If you have a conflict with someone, is like the process of healing, is like learning from it and saying, hey, this was an experience that we had together. And can we actually take something that was darkness turn it into something beautiful. And say, hey, this is not a way of being that we want to have. Can we come? See, that would be a beautiful understanding, right? To say, hey, let's learn from this. This is not how this relationship is going to be, right? This is not the type of experience we want to have and learn and grow from it. Is that at a core level? Like if there is a conflict like that, that can be traumatic in and of itself, especially if you have things like that with people that you care about. Is that at a deeper level? Like we can sit here and I'm happy to do it. We do it sometimes, right? And we can talk about how many calories are we getting and how many, things. So many times the things that are actually burdening us and weighing us down, it's like it isn't really just a scientific understanding of nutritional components, right? It's the emotional spaces, and then we get into a space where we use food to cope with that instead of doing something like this, write it out. And open the space to let the clarity come. My experience, this type of process can circle back around then. We started in the session, we opened up a lot of space, we flow in, and trying to model the progression. That's what I'm trying to do in this session. We can write that stuff out. And now as I'm sitting here, I'm getting the thoughts that come out, so processing it, then it can flow back around in the other direction. Right? It's like this is, to me, the process of honing in on clarity. Trying to use this stillness that is so underappreciated in our society. Actually a loop that we can go through. We open up the space, try to dial in on the perspectives, the thinking, that the things that we are really after and looking for. Kind of a meditation space, an open space, and then a journaling space, and then using that to flow back around. And maybe you make it through one cycle. I mean, we're all busy, I'm trying in this space. I've got my to-do list of 7 different things that I'm going to do after this session. It's like we try to block off that space for a bit. Maybe we just do one little loop. Maybe you can, take 10 minutes and go through a mini loop of that. Or if you're fortunate enough in a day, you say, man, I got some space here. We could do a couple loops on it, This is the process, honing in on clarity, making it a priority. The thing that is difficult, if it's difficult to find clarity, the thing that is the most difficult is actually carving out the time to do it. In the midst of all of our demands, responsibilities, things that we have to do, and then all of the distractions and things vying for our attention, to make the difficult choice to say, no, this is something I really value. I'm all right going through a little withdrawal, on all the doing. Focus in on being for a little bit here in this space. It's feeling good to me. Boy, isn't that the case? Yeah. I was doing that earlier, I was sitting here doing this. And, those jaw muscles, that Masseter muscle, I was feeling that as I was starting to write, because I'm writing out, about some of this conflict, and you just feel the tension there. That's a good gauge, all these things. People store stress in different places, sometimes, yeah, definitely in here. I'll do a lot in the neck and shoulders too, So a space like this where it's like we're not, you say, really in this space, to say we're not really trying to learn something so much as like yesterday, like some academic talk and data and things. But like still, like we're definitely trying to learn things, but like the things we're trying to learn is like emotional clarity. We're trying to learn, like, what is our way of being here? We're trying to learn, how do we get the tension out? How do we deal with the things that put it there in the first place? See, these are really great things to learn, but it's not the typical type of learning that we often do, The type of learning that you really have to embody, that you have to physically do and feel. You say a session like this to me is like an investment, where it's like we are investing in ourselves right now. Like we aren't just running off to the next thing. We're like giving the mind space, giving the brain space, giving the whole body space, and doing the beautiful practice to actually write, if you're in that space. Write physical words on paper without a screen. That just, it feels wholesome. I do a huge amount of writing on a computer, so I'm not judging it. I'm going to do it when we're done here. Part of what I got to do today, right? I got a lot of writing to do on the computer. But just to, to touch the actual paper and watch the ink flow, to me, picture you got tension in the jaw, you got tension anywhere in the body. It's a metaphor, but can you watch that tension just flow out onto the paper through the ink, Because you're writing about what put it there, presumably, right? That's what I'm doing. And can that actual process just see the ink is like the tension just getting written out on the page, and now it's not in the body anymore. Yeah, here I was looking for this quote, I'm writing about conflict, a disagreement with someone, and thinking about the thing that honestly that I was writing is like, why really do I get upset with someone? The more, like, writing it now, it gives you such a different perspective, Yesterday I felt like it just made so much sense. Like, I was angry about it. But today it just feels like it feels ridiculous, Like, why would I get upset with someone? About anything, really, Like, what is the point of driving a conflict? Like, I was realizing, like, from my perspective, like, this person is being ridiculous, But then today I'm just like, I'm being ridiculous, Because why drive a conflict? In the session I did the other, month, we did that one, letting go of anger. And I think I read this quote then, but let's listen to it again. I find this at different times a hard quote to read because, it's just so, I think, honest. So many times we get angry about something and we want to hang on to it, and this is telling us, to look in the mirror, This says, when we are upset, it is easy to blame others. It feels like the whole point of it, doesn't it? It's like someone has wronged us, something is doing something we don't like. Like, clearly the problem is with them, right? However, the true cause of our feelings is within us. This is the thing that I am just really trying to honestly look at myself right now. Someone does something frustrating. I interpret it as like, why are they doing that? I get angry about it. The true cause of the feelings is within us. That's what this is saying. And Normally it's something else, not the person. What is really going on? This is exactly what I am saying, yeah. What is really going on here? If we start to look at it and we say, someone did something, but now I'm angry. Like, that's happening here, you know. I say, for example, imagine yourself as a glass of water. Now imagine your negative experiences as sediment at the bottom of your glass. Next, think of other people as spoons. When one stirs, the sediment clouds your water. It may appear that the spoon caused the water to cloud. This is what the other person did. Okay, but if the sediment was not there, the water would remain clear no matter what happened. The key then is to identify our sediment and actively work to remove it. I say this is the process that we're going through right now. Open and honest process to look at reality and find clarity, to give space to all of these things, to breathe. And part of that breath, to breathe in some really transparent honesty into our situation and realize that when we are angry and upset, that is something that is going on in here. Hard to even realize. I bet you I went through a long part of my life for sure where I was not aware of a concept like that. That when other people do something to us, that we don't have to internalize it as this process, never to say someone wrongs us and hurt us, not to accept it, or not even to say that we can't be upset by it in some, even deep fashion, especially if we are really traumatized and hurt by someone, right? But what is the process that helps us to flow through this is not to internalize the anger, to let it consume us, and to only see, because we can't change other people. This is the thing. Someone does something, we interpret it as anger. We hold on to the anger. Isn't this part of it? We hold on to it thinking that we're getting back at someone, like we're punishing them if we're angry about it. But really, that was the cycle we did before, letting go of anger in that session. That to hang on to the anger only punishes ourselves. Like we punish ourselves twice. We have the negative experience, whether we did something or whether they did something, or however these conflicts start. I'll tell you, have a conflict with someone, it's hard to tell, isn't it? You ever have that? It's like you try to really sit down and tease it out. It's like, how did this really start, Sometimes it just emerges between two people, and it's like, maybe one person didn't really start it. Maybe both people co-created it, We can try to blame everybody, for it. But it's like sometimes things happen, and then we have this anger that we hang on to instead of letting go of it, instead of releasing it, instead of like saying, like, however it started and whatever happened, like, it's just sediment in the water. Do you see? Like, the problem wasn't the spoon. Stop blaming the spoon and start getting the sediment out. I don't know that I know this. Like, what are the 4 agreements? Is that a framework, or what is that? Hey, that sounds really nice. Yeah, these seem like pretty good pieces of advice as far as avoiding conflict, trying to flow through difficult situations. Stop taking things so personally. Man, that is a message I'm trying to do. Don't make assumptions. See, I did both of those things yesterday, I'll tell you. I took some things personally that I didn't need to. I made some assumptions that as I'm writing it out now, say, wrong assumptions, you know, I can see that. Do you ever do things like this? Pretty common. Always do your best. Let your words be impeccable. Yeah, these are great things. These are good centering words for our day here. Good centering words for life. Best practices. That was good writing to be done. Good writing to be done. Good thinking to be done. Good space to flow through and exist in for a bit. Really, really appreciate the dialogue, the perspective. If you're here coming through on the replay, share in your thoughts and reflections and comments on this space as well. What were you working on? What clarity came, or what clarity are you still seeking that you have not encountered? Very happy to have an ongoing discussion about it. And feel free always return to this space if it's helpful. You know, be here in the archive. I want to create helpful, thoughtful, hopefully therapeutic types of spaces where we can just open our mind, open our thinking, connect to health in a tangible, physical way. I wish you the very best in this day. I am going off. We got our productive task completed, still at 0. I say that it is 1, because taking a space to write in a journal and clarify the thinking is actually extremely productive, even if society wouldn't really see it that way. I will look forward to connecting with you again. Have a great day.